everyone, welcome back to the Anime Iceberg. I'm Megan.
And I'm Meg.
And today we are talking about Dr. Stone, episode 67, Light of Science.
Yeah, this is season 4, episode 9. So we're nearing the end of part 1. Summary of the episode: with Senku having been shot, the Kingdom of Science plots its retaliation against Dr. Xeno.
Yes, and this is manga chapter 160, Torch of Science, and 161, Craft Wars. I like Torch of Science better than Light of Science because it's like passing the torch.
Yeah.
Light of Science makes me think way back when they made the light bulb, like when Senku and Chrome were on top of the roof.
Right. Yep, so last episode left off very
dramatic.
Yes, because Senku has been shot. And honestly, like, the whole scene is, like, very well done.
Yeah.
I would say. The person that finds him is Taiju, and he's just devastated.
Yeah. But Francois was there, and they're already getting to work.
Yeah, and we see the dirtbag Stanley leaving, and he's like, Luna can fend for herself, like, you guys can, he tells Max and Carlos they can stay behind if they want, but like,
save her or leave her.
Whatever, I don't care. So, wow,
sorry,
rude.
I texted off.
So yeah, he doesn't really care about, I mean, there's only one person that he cares about, and we know who it is.
Yeah.
His, like I was about to say his master, but honestly, kind of. His leader is what he would say.
Yeah.
So we go back to the ship, and Ryusui's, like, immediately taking control.
He did so good.
Yeah, he did. And Francois is doing the best that they can. And Senku is, like, he's, like, talking, but nobody can hear him except for Francois, like, doing their best to translate. The bullet went clean through, which I don't know how, because we literally saw it, like, break into pieces, but... whatever. I'll trust Senku, I guess.
All the bits of shrapnel went clean through.
Right. He's in pretty bad shape, and Francois is like, I'm doing the best that I can, but he needs a doctor. But one thing that they did note, which I appreciated, because it's always, like, so annoying in shows when it's, like, or, you know, what in stories, when, like, a person gets shot, and then they, like, magically survive, when it's like, dude, you could have just, like, shot him in the head, and it would have been over. But in this case, Senku's like, no, they shot me in the chest so that if there's any important knowledge that I need to pass on, I have time to do it.
Yeah. In the manga, I really appreciate Francois because they're patching Senku up and, like, translating, and Senku says, it passed clean through, and Francois just goes, nice and clean, says Master Senku. So obviously not as optimistic as Senku is. And then it's also shown in the manga that Francois is translating in real time so that the English speaker, Luna, can understand what's going on.
That's I appreciate, because Luna's the only one there that, like, doesn't understand. But they are still translating for her, which, yeah, I appreciate. And Luna is very impressed. She's like, wow, Senku's still alive, and everybody's, like, rallying around him to try to help him.
Yeah, and, I mean, it reminds me of, like, last season when Amaryllis was like, wow, they followed him without hesitation. And Luna's noticing the same thing. Yep.
She steps in because it turns out that she's not a doctor, but she has had some medical training. She went to medical school. And so she's taking his blood pressure, and obviously she's like, he has really low blood pressure. But she's the closest thing they have to a doctor, and Taiju, again, is so sweet. He literally gets down on his knees and, like, begs her, like, please help him.
He's our friend. It was very sweet. And this is another example of the Stone World giving opportunities to people that our modern world wouldn't otherwise. Because Luna's like, well, I was, like, washing out of med school. But in this scenario, she's the best they got. So she's very valuable in this situation.
And another thing I wanted to say is that Taiju has now seen Senku die twice. Or almost die.
Poor guy.
So he's, like, it's very interesting, like, the choice that the author made to, like, Taiju is the one that found him, and he's the one that, you know, he's the one that's carrying a lot of, like, the emotional outbursts in the scene. Like, everybody else is obviously upset too, but, like, he's the one that's showing it the most. And, like, it's honestly just heartbreaking for him. Like, poor guy. So while they're dealing with that, we actually go back to Chrome and Kohaku, which I feel like we haven't seen them in a while. They've just been, like, keeping an eye out.
They're camping out in the woods.
Yep, on the other Kingdom of Science's base.
It's a wilderness stakeout.
And they're like scheming, and they're like, how are we gonna get in there and help Gen and take down the enemy? Then the battle team joins them, and we're gonna have to dig our way in.
Yeah. And
at first they're like, okay, we need to talk to Senku because we need him to make the tools for us because we can't dig with shovels. That would take literally forever. And that's when they receive a call from the Perseus, and that's when they all find out about Senku. And again, this scene is, I don't know, it's one person that you see, like, really having a reaction, and that's Chrome. Again, everybody's obviously upset, but, like...
Okay, I gotta break this down, because this was great. So, when I was reading the manga, it kind of went fast. Like, they had a limited number of pages to convey this information and to set up the next scene. And it was the end of a volume, too, so they had to make the impact count. So, it went by a little too fast, but in the anime, they had a little more time to play with the impact and emotions on the characters, each individually, especially, because, like, everyone, you know, has the shocked reaction. Ukyo's the one who gets the message, and he just, like, gasps, and he's like, you guys, Senku was shot! And everyone else is, you know, having a moment of, oh, this is bad. But you see Chrome, his hand is only in frame, and it just starts shaking uncontrollably, and, like, then it zooms into his face, and you can see that he's just freaking out. And to me, it makes sense, because Senku's the person that just changed his life. Like, he was a kid in the village that nobody really understood, and all of a sudden Senku comes and shows him all these things he never thought were possible. So to lose him would just be like, I don't know how Chrome could pick himself up after that. So it was a really great character moment, and it's what I like to see, because, you know, you don't like seeing characters get hurt, but you do like seeing their friends' and families' reactions, because it solidifies their bonds, like how close they are and how they react. You know, it just, it lets the audience know how much they care about each other. So, of course, you gotta somehow move on from that, and, like, what do you do next? So they have to make their battle plan, and that's when Senku has a little message for Chrome.
Well, really just one word. Chrome's name, and basically he's passing the torch to him. Yep. And now it's Chrome's responsibility to be the science user. Dr. Chrome. Yep.
And in the manga, they're using that cipher, so it's like the kanji and the pronunciation, so it's Kuromu.
So now Senku's recovering. Everybody kind of has their mission. Ryusui is still, like, in charge. I mean, I feel like he's always... It's really him and Senku that are in charge.
But Ryusui's... he's so good at keeping his cool.
Yep. I can't even imagine, like, what he's going through. Like, we can't lose Senku. Like, I need him. But basically, like, Dr. Xeno is going to make a move soon because he knows that we lost our scientist. And so we need, like, we need to buy more time. And that's when they deliver the Medusa.
Yes, Ukyo makes a stunning shot with the bow and arrow.
Yeah, that was so impressive. And basically it's like, hey, we have this technology, and they kind of depend on Gen, who of course, like, immediately knows what to do, to be like, oh no, like,
is that a petrification device?
Yeah, we have so many that we got.
We're lucky that one's a dud. We would be petrified now.
Yep. So, they're basically sending it as a warning to buy them more time.
Yep. It's kind of funny because, we see later that the Kingdom of Science is trying to trick Dr. Xeno into thinking they have a weapon of science. And Zeno's like, well, we have one too. And they're working on something. And you see them go down to look at it, but they still don't trust Gen as far as they can throw him. So they have Maya, like, cover his ears, which looks like it cracks his skull. And she's just, like, singing. It's one of Lillian's songs, if you've listened to the soundtrack, but she's, like, scream singing at the top of her lungs. And right before she does that, Stanley just, like, casually puts his hands over his ears and walks away. But, in the manga, Gen says, "What's the racket for? Is this a song? Utterly tone deaf, simply arable-te. Is this your ultimate weapon of destruction?"
Honestly, when she was singing, I was like, please stop, this hurts. Yeah, so Zeno has a plan, but so does Chrome. It's adorable, because he's made his own little science roadmap.
It's so cute! Like, you can get a really good look at it in the manga. He even made a spelling error and crossed it out and rewrote it on the side.
Oh, that's so cute.
And his drawings are so cute!
Yeah, and so he has, he thinks it's his own invention, but they're gonna make a drill.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the end of the episode, but...
Yeah, it's cool, though, because in the manga, Suika points out, "That's amazing, Chrome! When did you learn to write?" And I'm like, wait, yeah, when did he learn to write? Senku must have been tutoring him.
Well, he was. I mean, we kind of see that.
Yeah.
Like, we get flashbacks of...
Well, Ukyo was running a little school.
Yep.
But I'm assuming that Chrome and Senku were just working together, and Senku was probably like, "Okay, bud, you gotta learn how to write things down."
Mm-hmm.
And, like, Chrome was doing math on a piece of paper.
Well, actually, I'm surprised that I'm actually surprised that they didn't already know how to write, because obviously all the astronauts knew how to write.
Yeah.
And so, and read, and, like, it's surprising that it didn't occur to them, like, let's pass down this knowledge.
Or maybe they started to and it got lost over time.
And then, somebody didn't pass it on.
Right. It's probably not a priority when you're living in a situation where, like, they started off with a small group of people and they could teach each other how to read and write, and then the village slowly got bigger, and then it's like, well, we're trying to survive here and build up resources. So it makes sense. Also, Chrome's drill, what he called it, it's an acronym for drill, but Diggerific Rotating Impelling Land-Eating Loop Knife. Or drill.
Yep. That's great. And that's the end of the episode.
Yep, and some manga notes. We started volume 19. First we got a character file, so it's Maya. She's from Xeno's Science Kingdom. Powers 5 out of 5, appetite 5 out of 5, singing 1.
Should be like -10.
Yeah. Full name, Maya Biggs. Her height is 200 centimeters.
Oh, wow.
That's taller than any character so far, isn't it?
I think so.
6'5".
Almost close to 6'6", honestly.
Wow. There's probably a taller character than her.
Yeah, I think maybe some of the guys are, like, close to her
height. We'll have to compare her to
on their
Tsukasa.
team.
But yeah, the former All-American Women's Division MMA champ. Having suffered no losses, Maya earned enough money to retire young, but eventually had to file for bankruptcy after her voracious appetite consumed all of her savings. That's when she was scouted by the Special Ops Unit. She accepted the job offer, saying, "As long as you keep me fed." In that sense, her career path was a rather unique one. Don't be fooled by Maya's casual, congenial attitude. She won't harm others for no good reason, but as a professional, she'll show no mercy if that's what the job calls for.
And that is very true.
Yep. MMA makes sense. She's just built.
Yep.
And since we started a new volume, we got author and artist notes. Inagaki-sensei says, Season 2 of the anime! Season 2 of the Dr. Stone anime started airing in January 2021. You can check it out on a number of channels and streaming services. And Boichi says, what exactly does it mean to be a pioneer, breaching unknown territory? In theory, people should admire such attempts and see the value in them, but in practice, it can be almost too difficult to put into words. One will encounter fewer people willing to help than those who stand in opposition. It can be a lonely path with very few earnest supporters. Sometimes a lack of know-how can lead to mistakes that break the spirit and destroy one's life. Not many can comprehend that sort of pain and solitude. Despite all this, there will always be new pioneers emerging. Why? Because humans are always willing to break new ground, today, tomorrow, and the day after. From the bottom of my heart, I'm throwing my support behind the overseas challengers selected for the Tezuka Prize. If you don't know what that is, it's a manga competition. To everyone who took up this challenge, I want to say, you have all my love. Every last one of you is like Senku, standing strong upon your own piece of this world.
That's so sweet.
He always has the best little messages. Oh, man, I love it. So cool. Alright, we're going to introduce another character, and this time it's Max Adams. He's played by Dallas Reed, who is Asta from Black Clover, Suo from Windbreaker, and Yuri from Spy Family. Max is of Latin origin and means greatest, and Adams is of Hebrew origin and means earth or man. So in other words, he's the best man. Tracking. Finally, I get to track something. Chrome said that's bad twice in this episode, making up for lost time because he's been gone for a while. Then I have some notes on a scene in this episode where Ukyo, he got to use a new bow. If you noticed, I think he might have built it on the spot. I didn't see him carrying it with him when they were traveling in the forest. But his new bow he used to shoot that really impressive shot with the Medusa, it's huge. It's probably taller than him, I think. So I did a little research in Wikipediaing because I wanted to know the drawback strength he needed for it. So, for example, the self-view English longbow is 6 feet 6 inches and had about 105 pounds of drawback force needed. And I think Ukyo crafted the bow on the spot because he needed a bigger drawback strength because he was shooting from quite a distance away. And then I was looking up the Japanese art of archery, and that's called Kyoto. They use a Yumi bow, which is asymmetrical in shape. It's 6 feet 7 inches, and the archer grips the lower third of the bow. It looks like Ukyo seemed to be using the traditional longbow held at the middle, but I really hope the string didn't snap back at him because that would hurt.
Yeah, interesting. You know what's... I was just thought of this. Because he shot that at their door, which they needed to, but they also, like, gave away that, we know where you are, like, we know where your base is, and we're nearby. So right. I'm actually kind of surprised that nobody was, like, you know, Stanley wasn't like, I'm going out after him. But maybe they were also like, oh, their scientist is dead.
Well, so, I don't know, like, it's a bow and arrow. They have guns. So they're probably like, let's just fortify our area and it'll be good. Yeah, let's just
build our thing.
Our secret weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, okay, I wanted to say something else about the bow that the YouTuber Perry Chahal talked about, is that Ukyo also needed to shoot that arrow to measure the distance from where they were to the base, so that they could figure out, the distance and... Because
they were triangulating the position.
Yes, yeah, they were doing a trigonometrical survey, which is a big word, which basically means that they were doing lots of geometry to build their drill and
see how far they needed to go.
Yeah, see how far they needed to dig, and yeah, so that was kind of interesting. And then also another thing, the cipher that they're using.
Ryusui?
Yeah, Ryusui cipher. It is a classical cipher from the 16th century Japan, and it's described in a military strategy book written by Sadayuki Usami, a military strategist in the Sengoku period, under Usugi Kenshin, who was a warlord during that time. And it basically uses a 7x7 grid.
Oh, so it uses kanji.
Yep. And you write down the 48 characters of, they call it the Iroha syllabary, with one square being left empty. And then after that, each character can be encoded as 2 numbers, and then the first number corresponds to the row, and the second number corresponds to the column. So.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
yeah.
Wow. No. Okay, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I think it was little...
In Dr. Stone's science... Wow, they even referenced Dr. Stone.
That's cool. Okay. Oh, okay, and then some other little fun things that we've been up to. We finished another book for our book club. This time we read The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton.
It was good.
Yeah, she's kind of a bigger, like, mystery author, if you've heard of her. And she writes, like, historical mysteries. Like, I've read a lot of her books, and the one we read was, like, it's during, oh my gosh, it happens during World War II, but then she's other ones that, like, are happening during World War I, and then, like, late 1800s, and basically the format is, like, something happened back in the day, and then there's somebody in the present that's, like, trying to figure out what happened, and it's, like, going back and forth between the two time periods. Mm-hmm. And this one, I think, is probably my favorite of hers.
Yes. The ending was it, like, wrapped everything up really nice and was very satisfying.
Yep, and it's also... One thing I like, she's the only mystery author that I've read where I can't solve the mysteries before the end of the book.
Because, well, for most of the time, I didn't even know what the mystery was.
Yeah, like, you have no idea. And, like, this was my second time reading it, and it was like, yeah, you wouldn't... If you guessed, it would be kind of like a total shot in the dark.
Yeah.
It's not like most mystery books where you're like, okay, I think this is what happened.
Well, there are clues leading to it.
Yeah, like,
it all makes backwards.
Sense. It all makes sense in the end.
Yeah. Well, you don't even get most of the clues till, like, 3/4 of the way through, and then at the very end you finally learn what the last, like, the letter that you found, the card, I mean. It's like, oh my word, that's where that came from. Wow.
Yeah, so if you like mysteries and, like, historical... fiction, like, this is for you.
Histories and mysteries.
Yes, it's very good. And then another fun thing is we just went to Ren Fair.
That was good.
Yeah, it was really fun. We didn't really dress up.
Well, we went with Ellie, my friend.
She did, but...
Yeah, she had, like, a custom-made dress that was really pretty. But Meg, you were just wearing, like, casual clothes, but your jewelry was a little bit fantasy.
I have this, like, Peter Pan necklace of a thimble and an acorn. If you know, you know. And then my earrings, I had the star and moon. Yeah. So.
And then I just wore casual clothes with my black clover capelet over top. I got 3 comments on that. That was great. So the first one, we were walking, and there 2 girls that passed by, and I heard one go, "Wait, that's Black Clover!" And I just turned around and gave her a thumbs up. And the second time, we were walking through the crowd, and I heard this little boy, who was definitely way too young to be watching that show, gasping. He's like, Mom, that's the show I watch. That's like the Black Clover show. And I just, like, waved and smiled at him. And then the third time, we were just passing some dude bros, and one guy was like, "Black Bulls, let's go!"
Yeah, so it was fun. We saw a lot. I mean, if you've been to Ren Fair, I've been to, like, more than one, and they're kind of all the same.
Yeah. You see the fairies, you see the mermaids.
Yep. Yeah, we saw fairies, mermaids, and then we watched the jousting.
Yeah, that was cool.
And we looked at all the shops, and I don't know, I really like seeing everyone who's, like, has dressed up.
We saw a Dazai and a Chuya.
Yeah, we did. That was
that's not reticent.
But you do you.
I saw Where's Waldo too.
Yeah, I think it's just, like, a chance to dress up. So
yep, you take it.
Yeah, I got a hair stick, not Mau Mau's because I didn't have it, but. Yeah, I got that, and you got an art book.
Yeah, it was. You know what? I'll shout her out. Let me get it so I can see the name. So I didn't know if I was gonna get anything, but we passed this booth where well, first I got a sticker too, but she had, like, a D&D character, Sid Weiler, and so she had, like, a digital art book, and it's a compilation of her illustrations from her first 5 years of her career. And it's just really pretty. It's like, there's some characters, but a lot of it's animals, and there's scenery, and a little bit of everything. And she's got, like, a painterly style. And she does hair very well.
Yes, if I remember, and if she has an Instagram, I'll shout her out.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, I think that's all the extra stuff we have for this episode. So, Megan, what was your favorite line?
I, of course, had to go with Chrome's. "Can I do this? Me? The guy who bragged about changing the color of fire? The sorcerer? No, none of that matters. And there isn't anyone else. I'm Chrome, the science user. That's my boy. And what about you, Meg? My word.
I came from Senku.
Speaking through Francois.
Yeah, speaking through Francois. Which was very entertaining. When he was struggling. I don't remember, maybe it was Taiju who was like freaking out that, or they were like literally talking like he was dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, heh, I'm not dead yet, dumbass.
That's the only time, like the only time we're gonna hear Francois swear is when they're speaking for Senku.
Yep.
And yeah, even the heh.
Yeah, I was like, heh. I loved the translation. What did we learn this episode?
Don't think about what you can or can't do. Think about what you must do.
Yeah. Ugh. I hate that lesson. And then, who pushed the story forward?
Chrome, for taking the torch from Senku. But we also got to shout out Ryusui because he was so calm and in control and such a good leader in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright. That is all we've got for this episode.
Yeah.
It was a big episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with another episode.
Yep, thanks for listening. And thanks to everyone who's watched our video, our Can You Survive Dr. Stone video.
Yeah, we had super fun time making it, and I think we will be making more in the future.
Yes, for different shows.
Yes. All right. Bye.